From South Carolina Public Radio, this is Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray, and this week we're hopping, or Lindy hopping, if you will, into the Who, What, When time machine and swinging our way right in to the 1940s.
That's right, Brand. Coming up, we'll test your knowledge of important firsts from the decade, take a trip to the cinema for a game about famous 40s films, and hear 3 stories from World War II that may be too hard to believe. Can you guess our lie?
If you'd like to join us for these games, just call or text us at 803-470-6347. That's 803-470-6347. Or if you'd rather, you can send us an email. That works too. Who@when at scpublicradio.org. You'll get a chance to earn the title of Who at When Champion of the Week, and our very special prize, the Ace Who What When Fanny Pack. It's pretty spiffy, if I do say so myself.
People are saying it's really the cat's meow, Brand. Just like this super cool 1940s slang will be seamlessly fitting into the conversation all episode long.
I don't know, Dan. I think I've had enough of this malarkey already.
Okay, you're right. Before we get to our games, let's get into the details of this decade and the event that really defined the 1940s. That's right, World War II. Not only did the war immensely impact global politics and the balance of power around the world, but it also shifted American culture in a big way.
Well, consider me intrigued, Dan. What changes did we see in the U.S.?
Great question, Bran. One of the most significant shifts of the 1940s was the mass entry of women into the workforce. Before World War II, women, or more specifically white affluent women, were not encouraged to enter the workplace. But the war meant that men were off to fight abroad and industry was booming to support their efforts. There was a growing need for workers regardless of their gender, and according to census data, roughly 6.7 million additional women went to work during the war. That's a nearly 50% increase in the female labor force in only a few years.
Yeah, that's a big shift, Dan.
Sure is. And not only were women holding down the fort in the workforce, they were also in the fight themselves. Almost 350,000 women served in the U.S. Armed Forces during the war. All of this had a huge impact on culture outside of the war. Support for structural shifts in women's rights increased, including a rise in support for the Equal Rights Amendment, a proposed constitutional amendment that would make discrimination on the basis of sex outright illegal. Eleanor Roosevelt redefined the role of First Lady through her advocacy in the public eye. The superhero Wonder Woman made her first appearance in a 1941 comic book, eventually becoming the first female superhero to have her own ongoing series. In the fashion world, Vogue magazine announced to its women readers that the uniform of 1942 is a tailored suit, saying, a suit to work in, serve in, live in, all through the busy daylight hours of your new double-duty life. And speaking of suits, later that same year, Katharine Hepburn ruffled feathers as she donned a tux in her movie Woman of the Year.
I'll be honest, Dan, this sounds pretty forward-thinking for the time, which makes me wonder, did this cultural shift carry over after the war?
It's a great question, Brandon. Unfortunately, it did not. As male soldiers returned to the States, they returned to the jobs they had left behind. The number of open jobs dwindled as less manufacturing was needed, and as a result, cultural representations of women regressed in response to the kind of labor that was available to them. But while the end of the war did mean the return to the status quo in some ways, not all of these cultural shifts went to waste. The events of the 1940s helped the push towards equal rights and representation. And not just here in the U.S. In fact, we began to see changes around the world, including French philosopher Simone de Beauvoir publishing The Second Sex, a trailblazing text that would go on to inspire generations of women for decades to come.
Dan, I hate to say it, but I didn't realize how many influential women paved the way for change before the 20th century even hit its halfway mark. What a time, Dano. Thank you so much for that history lesson.
You're welcome, Brandon. Now it feels like a good time to get to some games.
It sure does, Dan. And it looks like we've got 2 contestants ready to go. Contestant number 1, what's your name and where are you from?
Hey, my name is Justin Kirkland. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Justin from Brooklyn, New York.
What neighborhood?
I'm just like below Park Slope.
Right
so
on. That's a good one.
Shout out.
That's a good one. What do you know about the 40s, Justin?
So the 40s used to be my favorite decade when I was in elementary school. I specifically remember that, but I was sitting here thinking, what is my favorite thing from the 40s? And I was going to say Bonnie and Clyde, but that was from the 30s. So I may not be the best guy here, but I'm going to do my best.
We're off to a rip-roaring start. Why were the 40s your favorite decade in elementary school?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. There was something really nice about, do you remember that D-Day picture after World War II where the guys, having the
Guys
cow.
dipping
That
the
was-
soldier that's come home and
Yeah, the
dipping
class.
the girl.
I do know that picture.
Yes.
Exactly. There's something about that vibe. It seems like there was after a really tough time, people were really thrilled. So maybe I'm talking like 1944 forward. Those first 4 years, those are
Tough.
you should sleep through that.
Yeah, it's a good. You know what's crazy is both of my segments of questions are all about just that picture.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. He's going to be in
You
great
might have
shape.
a leg up.
That's
you might
right.
have a leg
Let's
up.
see who you're playing against this week, Justin. Caller number 2. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name is Jordan, and I am from Chicago, Illinois.
Ah, what neighborhood? South Side?
Yeah.
You're on the south side.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
I
We
thought
narrowed
you
it down to
Oak
south
Forest
side.
area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
good. That's
Very
awesome.
good, yeah.
Jordan, how are you feeling about the 40s as a category?
Not great, not gonna lie.
Okay.
It was
I'm
never
gonna
your
do my
favorite.
best.
It was never your favorite decade.
No, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but maybe some good movies.
Yeah, maybe. Do you have a favorite picture
Yeah.
from the 40s?
Probably not. Hang on. No.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Well, you tried.
Great.
And that's all that we can ask for.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. I don't think I'm confident enough that I know what movies are from what decade.
Well, I just a little
You took my question about
It's
pictures to
picture,
mean
like motion picture, which is the correct way to take it.
Absolutely.
She
I was
said
talking
movies.
pictures because of Justin's favorite picture, but it doesn't matter.
Gotcha. It's fine.
A lot of foreshadowing
Off
here.
to a great start.
You might need to know some of those 40s movies for our second game. I'm just saying. Jordan
very good.
from the
All right.
south side of
Great.
Chicago, Justin from Brooklyn, New York. Going to be a fun one this week, I
Yes.
can tell already. Let's get down to our first game, all about famous firsts of the 1940s. It's called the 40s Years Old Versions.
In this round, Justin and Jordan, you'll take turns answering multiple choice questions about notable inventions, pop culture moments, and more that happened for the first time during the 40s. We'll describe that famous first. Give us the right answer. You're going to get yourself a point.
Justin, the first question in the 40s-year-old version goes to you. You'd think this invention would have been much earlier, say right after the wheel, but it turns out this flying plastic dish, initially called the flying saucer, was invented by Walter Morrison in 1948. Is that A, Saturn's ring, B, the Frisbee, or C, the super disc?
Huh. Okay. Well, Saturn's ring, the only one of those that I actually know of, is on Saturn. The Frisbee makes sense because it's fun. It's good fun for a boy and a girl, which feels of the era. And what was that third answer?
The super disc?
Super disc.
Well, the super disc, I don't know what that is, and I couldn't remember it from the fact that you put it in the answers like 30 seconds ago. So I'm going to go with Frisbee.
He's going to go with
I feel like
Frisbee.
Frisbee launched in the 40s, got popular in the 50s. That's my theory.
He's going with Frisbee, and he is correct.
Oh, very good.
Justin knows more than just that one picture. He's on the
About
board,
that.
gang.
Very good.
That's right.
That's probably you played a lot of Frisbee in elementary school, so that
was what it was.
You didn't even
Yeah.
know, but subliminally, though, it was locking in.
Jordan, your first question here on the 40s years old versions. The 1940s in the U.S. were filled with war and its aftermath, but also the beginnings of what would be known as fast food, including the opening of the first ever location of this fast food giant in San Bernardino, California, long before their billions sold. A, Carl's Jr., B, McDonald's, C, Burger King.
Ooh, okay. I've never heard of the first one, so I'm just gonna clearly they haven't sold billions.
There you go.
McDonald's, I feel like was around that time, but I feel like it could have been Burger King too.
They are quite similar.
This is the point where you pick one. Yeah.
My gut is saying McDonald's. I'm gonna go with McDonald's.
She's going with her gut, and she is correct. That is McDonald's.
My gut is always saying McDonald's. Dan, did you see the, speaking of pictures, did you see the best picture, the founder?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of a jerk.
Oh, yeah, not a good guy.
Not a good guy. All right, it's all tied up. We're going back to Justin for his next question, all about 1940s first. Here we go. By the 1940s, Walt Disney already had quite the hold of animation, but that didn't keep the debut of this future Warner mainstay in the animated short A Wild Hare, where shockingly, he wasn't required to run from Yosemite Sam or recruit NBA legends to play basketball. Is that A, Roger Rabbit, B, Bugs Bunny, or C, Peter Rabbit?
Oh, that's tough. Those are all bunnies.
I think I'm going to have to go with Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny is correct.
Yeah.
I see. They were worried about the 40s, and I've started them off with some.
Yeah, no, you're doing
Yeah.
you're doing a good
You get it.
job.
You understand.
Dan, are you a big Bugs boy?
He's fine. I mean, I grew up liking that rascally rabbit.
Yeah.
Left turn at Albuquerque. You
No
get it.
one dislikes Bugs.
No.
Right? No.
Come on.
Love
All right,
Bugs.
Jordan, keep this perfect game rolling. Next question is yours, all about 1940s first. Here it comes. James Wright was experimenting with silicone in 1943.
Who wasn't?
Hoping to find a rubber substitute, and instead stumbled upon this children's toy that you could stretch, pull, and even imprint on a newspaper. Is that A, butter slime, B, flubber, or C, silly putty?
All right, I think I actually know this one. I mean, you said Flubber was the second one, right?
That's right, yes.
That's from a movie. I love that movie. But
You like pictures.
yeah, C, silly putty.
Silly putty is correct.
I
Yeah.
love
Can you
silly
imagine
putty.
how much different our life would be if James Wright had invented flubber?
Is there anything more satisfying as a kid than taking some silly putty and putting it on the newspaper and then the
Dude.
word? It's crazy.
Oh, man.
Well,
It was
what's
like
the deal
the tech
with that?
was so high it was low. You know what I mean?
Still,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right. Both contestants are 2 for 2 in this first game, all about the 1940s that we're calling the 40s years old versions. Justin, your next question about 1940s first. This educator, author, orator, and founder of Tuskegee University made history in the 1940s by becoming the first African American to appear on a United States stamp. Is that A, George Washington Carver, B, Booker T. Washington, or C, Marcus Garvey?
Ooh, okay. So I feel really embarrassed because I know that one of these gentlemen is responsible for peanut butter? Why is that?
Yes, one of these gentlemen is responsible for peanut butter.
I mean, all three of these guys have amazing histories and accomplishments.
and probably like peanut butter.
I mean, we could assume.
The thing is, the real test of whether these people are good or not is whether they like smooth or crunchy. But that's
true.
not the question.
Yeah.
For me, it feels like it's Booker T. Washington, so I'm just going to stay in that lane. Booker T.
It
Washington.
feels like it's Booker T. Washington. He's going to stay in that lane, and he is correct.
Oh, that's a good lane.
Wow.
That's a
Booker
good
T.
lane.
Washington, founder of Tuskegee University, first African American on a postage stamp. An excellent job, Justin.
Is he the peanut butter guy?
No, that's George Washington Carver, I believe.
Let me ask you this, Dan. Be honest. When I say Booker T, do you think of Washington or do you think of the wrestler?
I think of Washington because I have a history degree, but
think of
Booker
the
T from the
wrestler.
Harlem Heat and WCW was a second Booker T.
yeah, I flip it, but I see why you would as a history buff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Jordan, next question is yours. 1940s first. Here it comes. 1940 was the debut of this refreshingly cool chocolate candy, which in later years, eating one became synonymous with being transported on a cool, crisp getaway right from your living room. Is that A, the Andes Mint, B, the Junior Mint, or C, the York Peppermint Patty?
Oh, man.
Ooh, okay. Well, based off of the transport part of it, I feel like that might go well with the Andes Mint because it's like it's transporting you to the Andes Mountains.
Sure.
That's what I'm going to go with.
She's going to go with Andes Mint, and she is incorrect.
Oh, no.
And it is because Jordan is too young to remember the commercial where this guy is in his. Do you remember this
I
commercial?
remember this commercial.
When I bite into a York peppermint patty and then he stands up and he's skiing, he's on a mountain. It was a very big deal. So she took the wrong part of that.
But you
clue.
know what? I totally understand how she got
I will
there,
say that
though.
when the context clue that she took was just the wrong one, but that was I see it 100% how she got there.
Yeah.
The Andes are mountains.
That's true.
Makes sense.
Very
Makes sense.
good.
Tough break there, Jordan, but still plenty of game to
I
go.
love a York peppermint patty.
York peppermint. I've not had one in a long time, but
Dude, you know what I like when
it's
you do
that commercial works. though.
when you pull them apart and they go,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It feels like.
Can we get one on the way
that
home?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
That candy feels cold to me.
Yeah, it feels cold.
And it's successful marketing.
Yeah, very
I
good.
never want one until I think about it, and then I'm like, I got to have one.
Very good.
It's crazy.
Very good.
All right, Justin, a chance to take a commanding lead here in our first game, all about the 1940s. Here comes your next question. Because millions of men left the U.S. for war in the 1940s, it opened the door for a push for women's equality in the workplace as women were filling needs in workplaces around the country, with the push being led in part by this fictional character that became a mascot of working women across the country. Is that A, Rosie the Riveter, B, the Lumberjills, or C, Wendy the Welder?
Wendy the Welder was my mother. The Lumberjills was a very specific a cappella group that I was part of in college before my voice changed. So I'm going to go with Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah.
Rosie the Riveter is correct. And would it surprise you to learn, Justin, that aside from your very specific knowledge of those other two things, those are both real things?
Oh, very good.
Wendy the Welder was a similar thing in England, if you can believe it.
And I will say, I don't know Justin, but I did see the Lumberjills live.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure he was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely. All right, Jordan, back to you. It's getting real.
Sure is. You need this one. Yep. That's what I said.
And can I tell you this? As someone who wrote all these questions,
What?
this is my favorite one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Here
Well, that
we go.
works out well.
We are talking about 1940s first.
Yes.
In a game we're calling the 40s years old version.
The 40 years old versions.
Years old versions.
Yes.
That's right. Jordan, here's your next question. The revolutionizing food storage system with airtight, liquid-tight lids was invented in the 1940s and named after its inventor, whose name was A, Danny Oxo,
Right.
B, Tom Pyrex,
Very good.
C, Earl Tupper.
Oh, my God. 3 good options, Jordan.
Jordan, is it Danny Oxo, Tom Pyrex, or Earl Tupper?
Okay. Okay, all three are some good food storage containers.
Yeah.
But I feel like the one I remember, like my grandparents always sending leftovers home in was always Tupperware.
Sure.
I think I'm going to go with, was that C?
C, Earl Tupper, yes.
Yes, I'm going to go with C, Earl Tupper.
She's going with C, Earl Tupper, and believe it or not, one of these names had to be real. Danny Oxo, Tom Pyrex, Earl Tupper, and Jordan is correct.
Oh, very good.
The guy's name was Earl Tupper.
You know what? I
mean-
like that. It makes you don't really think about when you hear Tupperware. You don't really think about what's Tupper.
No, whenever I hear Tupperware, I'm just like, oh, it's the things.
It's the
seal.
things.
But it turns out his last name was Tupper.
That's the Tupper.
Earl Tupper.
In Tupperware, we're talking about Earl.
Earl Tupper, the whole Tupper
Shout
family,
out.
great people. That's right.
Dan, did your mom ever go to a Tupperware party?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Those are big.
Oh, yeah.
big deal.
How crazy is
All
that?
right, Justin, your last question of the round about 1940s first. Here it comes. In 1947, pilot Chuck Yeager flew the experimental Bell X-1 plane and achieved this accomplishment, which, along with the patent of jet propulsion, exponentially increased interest in and use of air travel. Is that A, completed a nonstop transatlantic flight, B, broke the sound barrier, or C, teleportation?
Oh.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead and take teleportation out unless I've missed something.
Wise. Yeah.
So the sound, the first thing that crossed my mind when I was listening to the question is that he went around the globe, and then I was like, no, probably not, but maybe across the ocean. So
Sure.
transatlantic flight is the one that I think probably makes the most sense. I'm going to go transatlantic flight A.
A pilot did complete a transatlantic flight. It was way earlier than the 40s.
Oh.
We're looking for broke the sound barrier.
Wow. That's tough, Justin.
That's tough.
You know what, Justin? I think I probably would have done the same thing. 'Cause
The way the question...
broke the sound barrier, though, I would have thought was later. I
1947.
Yeah, but I'm very impressive.
Very impressive.
That's
All
tough,
right,
Justin.
Jordan, that sound was the door creaking back open. God, we got to get it. We just do some WD-40 or something on that door.
A new door.
A chance to tie this thing back up. In the last question of the round, we're talking 1940s first in a game we're calling the 40s years old version.
Yes. It's been fun. I've learned a lot.
Here's your last question. Everyone loved this new toy in 1943. At least that's what the ads told us. But those same ads never showed an exasperated dad trying fruitlessly to untangle one that his kid had broken. Is that A, the slinky, B, the yo-yo, or C, the kite?
Oh, man. That's tough, Jordan. All 3 of those things can get tied up.
That's tough. I feel like the yo-yo was earlier.
Sure.
Kites, Benjamin Franklin was using a kite.
Oh.
So that, I feel like it's gotta be Slinky. And I do remember having Slinkies and them getting tangled all the time, trying to push them down the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Slinky.
She's going to go with Slinky. And the tagline was, everyone loves a Slinky. And Jordan is correct.
I think the problem with the Slinkies come not necessarily with the stairs, for me at least. It is so hard as a kid to not see how far you can stretch that sucker.
Yeah, the stairs never get them tangled. Kids being kids get them tangled.
Yeah, you just stretch that sucker, you spin it around like a jump rope.
Should just show up.
Forget about it. You're listening to Who, What, When. I'm Brandon Gray here with my co-host Daniel Thompson, and this week we're taking a trip back in time to the 1940s.
That's right, Brandon. Our contestants, Jordan from Illinois and Justin from New York, are off to an incredible start. We'll see if they can keep their streak up in our next round, all about the decade's biggest movies.
That's coming up right after this break here on Who, What, When.
Welcome back to Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my good buddy Brandon Gray. This week, our topic, the 1940s.
Before we head to the golden age of Hollywood for our next game, a reminder, we would love for you to join us in a future episode of Who, What, When. You just got to call or text us, 803-470-6347, or send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
That's right, Brandon. We've got two great contestants today. In fact, Justin from New York and Jordan from Illinois. After a thrilling first round, it's time to head to the cinema for our next game, one we're calling Phenomenal Films of the 40s.
Jordan and Justin, for each question, we'll describe a notable film from the 1940s. You'll get 3 possible choices for what film it could be. Tell us the correct title, and you'll get yourself a point.
And we should note that all of these movies were featured on the American Film Institute's list of top 100 movies of all time. Justin, you'll start us off this round. Here's your first question on phenomenal films of the 40s. For most of the latter half of the 20th century, this film was considered the greatest movie of all time. Directed by its star, Orson Welles, and being loosely based on the life of American media tycoon William Randolph Hearst. Is that A, Sunset Boulevard, B, Citizen Kane, or C, The Magnificent Ambersons?
I don't know if the last one is a film. But if it is, it wasn't a great one because I haven't ever heard of it. It's between Sunset Boulevard and Citizen Kane for me. Is Citizen Kane the one that ends with, spoiler alert, the red sled?
Man, you're really giving it away, Justin. Yes, that is that movie.
All right, I want to go with that one then.
He's going to go with Rosebud, and he is correct. Citizen Kane is the correct answer.
Yeah,
that's right.
What does it say about me that I know Orson Welles more from the drunk outtakes from that commercial he did? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is that just me?
It means you're not a great citizen.
I'm no Kane.
Justin, The Magnificent Ambersons is another Orson Welles film that is pretty famous.
Oh, okay.
FYI.
But you're right, Justin. It's not good because you don't know it.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. All right, Justin, you're off to a good start here. Jordan, let's see if you can match it with your first question here on Phenomenal Famous Films of the 40s. This infamous 40s film was one of many set against the backdrop of war, but one of the few that took place in French Morocco. It's a love story about an expat cafe owner helping his former lover and her husband escape the Nazis, featuring Humphrey Bogart at the peak of his powers. Is that A, The Maltese Falcon, B, High Sierra, or C, Casablanca?
Okay, the only one that I know of is Casablanca, so I'm gonna go with that because I know nothing about the other two movies.
You know, Bran, I tried to start this segment off. I knew it was going to get tough.
So you're concerned?
I'm a little concerned because I tried to start off with what many consider to be the 2 greatest movies of all time. With Vertigo, Citizen Kane, Casablanca are considered typically the top 3
Trifecta.
run-of-the-mill.
Sure.
And they did get them right.
Okay, good job.
But it was Casablanca is correct.
Great.
But I'm a
you're
little
worried
worried about
moving
where we're
forward.
going moving
Okay.
forward. I think there's some other ones that they're going to get that are famous.
Yeah,
I do.
all right. Great.
So you're correct, Jordan. Congratulations. You guys are still tied up. We've got 8 questions left about 1940s films. Justin, your next question about 1940s films. Here we go. First released as a theatrical roadshow in 13 cities in 1940.
That's cool.
And featuring actual orchestra members on screen filing into play, this compilation of 8 famous classical music pieces was brought to life by none other than Mickey Mouse and Disney's team of animators. Is that A, Fun and Fancy Free, B, Tugboat Mickey, or C, Fantasia?
Ooh, okay. So we have a 2-first situation again, because I'm not aware of the first one, but apparently that could be a movie, even if I don't know about it. I know Tugboat Mickey was the first, but no. Actually, Tugboat Mickey is out because I'm pretty sure it just hit 100 years, which means that it's, what is it, like royalty free or free?
Yeah,
use
public
or-
domain.
Correct.
Sure.
That one. So if he's public domain, then that means that that's 100 years and we're not in the 40s yet. So I'm going to go with Fantasia.
He's going to go with Fantasia, and he is correct.
Very
Fantasia
good.
is correct. They're still proud of that movie at the Walt Disney World, if you've ever been. They're still proud of it. They're
They are.
Big Fantasia boys still.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
have that,
As a kid, it was like we're watching a movie, and then I heard it was Fantasia, and I was always like, oh.
Yeah.
And now I appreciate it a lot more as an adult. But as a kid,
they at the Disney they have like a 4D
4D,
thing
it's all
that they
Fantasia
do.
based.
It's really fun.
yeah, exactly. It's coming at you, and they're spraying water at you. It's a whole
Yeah,
thing.
smells.
All right, Jordan,
Yeah,
a chance
smells.
to even this back up. We're talking phenomenal, famous films of the 40s.
Okay.
Here's your question. Even though it earned 5 Oscar nominations, this 1946 film actually never made back its production budget, causing famous director Frank Capra to shut down his production studio. When the film finally hit public domain, however, networks like NBC made this Jimmy Stewart-led Yuletide tale an all-timer for generations to come. Is that A, It's a Wonderful Life, B, Harvey, or C, Sergeant York?
I do know this one, and it is A. Well, I'm almost positive it's A. It's a Wonderful Life.
A, It's a Wonderful Life is
Very
correct.
good. Hey, Jordan, give us your best Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, God. No, thank you.
Okay,
She's
fair enough.
passing, and that's
That was good.
That's pretty good.
It's more like, no, thank you.
Well, Mary. Jordan is correct.
There you go, Jordan. You got it.
They've got the first 4 right. Justin, we're going back to you. Things are about to get interesting here in the 1940s film category, a little segment we're calling Phenomenal Famous Films of the 40s. Your next question starts right now. Known for its titular MacGuffin, an object of seeming significance and mystery, this is the ultimate film noir, featuring a younger Humphrey Bogart as Detective Sam Spade and Mary Astor as the femme fatale Bridget O'Shaughnessy. Is that A, Vertigo, B, The Third Man, or C, The Maltese Falcon?
I don't know why I know this like full chest, but it's the Maltese Falcon.
He knows it. Full chest. It's The Maltese Falcon. That is correct. For my money, a better movie than Casablanca.
Whoa.
A perfect movie, The Maltese Falcon.
What about Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
Better than Citizen Kane?
Citizen Kane's probably a better movie than Maltese Falcon, but it's close. I think it's a more important movie. I'll say that.
Okay, guys, I'll watch them
Yeah,
and
but
I'll tell you my thoughts.
Maltese Falcon's perfect. I have literally a framed poster of this movie from a theatrical run in the 50s up in my living room. Like, it is a very big deal for me.
Can't hide
Maltese
money.
Falcon is correct. Jordan, the board's back to you. Let's see if you can keep the good times rolling here on Phenomenal Famous Films of the 40s. Here's your next question. There are many adaptations of John Steinbeck's 1939 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, including television and stage. But the film, made just a year later in 1940, directed by John Ford and featuring Henry Fonda and Jane Darwell, remains the most memorable retelling of a story of poverty and hopelessness during the Great Depression. Is that A, The Four Winds, B, The Worst Hard Times, or C, The Grapes of Wrath?
I'm going to go with, I know The Grapes of Wrath is a novel, and I haven't read it. Maybe I should. But I'm going to go with The Grapes of Wrath.
She's going to go with The Grapes of Wrath, and she is correct.
How about that?
Wow. These guys know their 40s films.
They got moving. They got moving on the Grapes
know
of
their
Wrath.
40s films. There's no way these last four trip anybody up. I feel great about it. Justin, your next question here, talking about 1940s films. Here we go. One major theme of 1940s filmmaking was war propaganda, specifically reminding people of the patriotism of World War I in hopes to inspire the same mindset for World War II. Few movies did this more overtly than this musical drama about George Cohan, played by James Cagney, the Broadway playwright and composer that wrote the war song Over There. Is that A, Sergeant York, B, Yankee Doodle Dandy, or C, Johnny Get Your Gun?
Over there, over there. That's the song.
That's the song.
Think.
Yep.
And I sing it because I don't know the answer. Johnny Get Your Gun is not it.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna go with the only other song that I know, which is Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Funnily enough, Johnny Get Your Gun, a lyric from the song Over There,
Wow.
but not the movie. Justin is correct.
How
It's
about
Yankee
that?
Doodle Dandy.
And you won't believe this, Dan, but I took one of those 23andMe's.
yeah.
A good chunk of it for me shows that I am also a Yankee Doodle Dandy.
That's crazy.
I know.
Wow.
90% dandy.
90% dandy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's so
5 Yankee, 5
It
Doodle?
was 5 Yankee, 5 Doodle, 90 Dandy.
That's
yes.
fair. I can also tell you this, Yankee Doodle Dandy, a movie I had to watch here at the University of South Carolina for a
Shout out.
film class I took called Hollywood Goes to War. Shockingly great.
Really?
A great movie.
Made you want to go to war?
I was like a Broadway composer writing a song, I don't know, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You do love propaganda, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a big propaganda boy. That's right. All right, that was a big one, Justin. Jordan, board is back to you. Here's your next question about famous 1940s films. The third Humphrey Bogart film to appear in this category, this 1948 neo-Western movie directed by John Huston featured a departure from the themes of World War II or the Depression, foreshadowing the adventure boom of the 1950s films that were to come. Is that A, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, B, Key Largo, or C, All Through the Night?
I know nothing about any of these movies. Well, if it had something to do with did you say an adventure boom?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with A.
She's going to go with A, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and she is correct.
This is
What
good.
a
This
time
is
to be
electric.
alive.
Wow.
Man.
2 left,
Wow.
Dan. 1 for each of them.
2 left. 1 for each of them. That's how that works.
I did the math. I was
That
in the
is-
lab all night.
Yep.
Came up with
Yeah,
this.
that's how that works.
1 for each of them.
If you want a great double feature, since we're just talking film here, just us
Okay.
guys, Treasure of the Sierra Madre and Spike Lee's The Five Bloods,
Okay.
which is structured, it's a Vietnam War movie structured around the heist of the Treasure of the Sierra Madre. It is, yeah, hey, podcast listeners, this is just for you. What a double bill there. Treasure of Sierra Madre, Spike Lee's The Five Bloods.
Okay, very good.
Definitely check it out.
I won't do it, but
Justin, you have one more question left in this round, and it's a doozy. Here we go. This 1946 epic drama was quintessential 1940s, as it depicted 3 soldiers from 3 different branches of armed services returning home from World War II, adapting and readjusting to the new normal of civilian life, shining a spotlight on the hardships of the era, as well as being one of the earliest films dealing with the concern of PTSD. Is that A, A Place in the Sun, B, All the King's Men, or C, The Best Years of Our Lives?
Ooh, I think that for some reason I want to say A Place in the Sun, but I feel like that was later. Like I don't feel like that was in the 40s. So I'm gonna go with The Best Years of Our Lives because it feels ironic.
It feels ironic. he
Isn't it
said.
ironic?
Don't you think?
Those people aren't.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
Yeah.
The Best Years of Our Lives is correct,
Whoa.
Justin. What a pull.
Wow.
A perfect category from the 40s film section.
And he's also right that A Place in the Sun was 1951.
Wow,
This
very
guy.
good.
Jordan, your last question here about famous 1940s films. Here it goes. 3 stalwarts of 1940s films, Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and Jimmy Stewart, joined forces for this 1940 rom-com based on the 1939 Broadway play and featuring the spirit and locale of its titular city. Is that A, New York, New York, B, To Boston with Love, or C, The Philadelphia Story?
Okay. Jimmy Stewart and Katharine Hepburn.
Right.
And Cary Grant.
And Cary Grant.
And Cary Grant.
Don't forget. And Jordan,
Okay,
if you
so
could give
we have-
us the answer in your Jimmy Stewart movie.
So we have 3 cities
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I think I've heard of. The Philadelphia Story.
All right, we're losing it a little bit.
All right. I've heard of the Philadelphia Story, and I'm almost positive that I know that has Katharine Hepburn in it.
She's going with Philadelphia Story because she knows it has old Kate Hepburn. And she is correct.
Whoa!
I
I
talked to Big Game about this category, and they went perfect.
Should I get started on 2 fannies?
You maybe.
This is Who What When. I'm Brandon Gray here with my friend Daniel Thompson, and today we are hopping in our trusty old Who What When time machine and learning all about the 1940s.
And our contestants are proving to be quite the historians. Justin from New York and Jordan from Illinois are tied coming out of our second round. That means they'll both be competing in today's final round for the chance to win our trophy, that sweet, sweet Who What When fanny pack.
Stick around for that and more coming up after this break here on Who What When.
This is Who What When, an hour of history, games, and trivia from South Carolina Public Radio. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my good buddy Brandon Gray, and this week we're looking back on the 1940s and the events of this pivotal decade.
It's been a great game so far, but before we get to our final one quick reminder. We would love for you to join us for a future episode. We need the contestants, Dano.
Yeah, man.
You just got to call or text us, 803-470-6347, or you can send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
Brand, we really do have an exciting game this week. Our contestants, Jordan from Illinois and Justin from New York, are tied after our first 2 rounds, making them our co-champions of the week, and they now both have a shot at that sweet trophy, the Who What When fanny pack.
Wow.
All they have to do is make it through our final game today. It's History or His Story, World War Edition.
Justin and Jordan, History or His Story is our Who What Whenified version of 2 Truths and a Lie. Former history teacher Dan has 3 tales from the 1940s, but only 2 of them are drawn from real historical events. The third is a creation of Dan's, let's say, imagination. It's his story. And after each tale, you'll both have a chance to ask questions. We can talk through it together, and then it's going to be your job to tell us which one you think is malarkey.
And our first story is all about pigeons piloting missiles. So, Brand, during World War II, we had the Allied powers and the Axis powers.
Yes.
And most people don't remember this, but the United States, they don't actually join the war until 1941.
Right, they held out.
That's right. It starts in 1939, but Pearl Harbor in December is what officially begins the United States involvement in World War II. And as much as it was a battle on the ground, it was just as much a battle of intel, trying to build the biggest weapons and have the best ideas and break the codes and spies and stuff.
Yes.
Enter B.F. Skinner and Project Pigeon.
B.F. Skinner.
B.F. Skinner.
That is a
Crazy name. Yeah. He's a pretty famous American psychologist and behaviorist and philosopher. A lot of what he does is after World War II.
Okay.
He has a lot of things that still are taught in psychology education classes, if you can believe
This
it.
kind of kick-started his career.
He had a theory called operant conditioning, which basically used reinforcement or punishment to increase chances of manipulating a desired behavior.
I don't like that.
Basically, like dogs are like lab rats. So you take the cheese, you get buzzed. Take the cheese,
Right.
Basically, that's what he did. So he believed he could apply this theory to pigeons because of how smart they were as birds.
Okay, good.
Introducing a real thing called Project Pigeon.
Project Pigeon.
Young B.F. Skinner, not even 40 years old yet, received military funding from the United States government for an idea he had to utilize the behavior of pigeons while in flight. He believed they had excellent vision and extraordinary maneuverability, and he believed that pigeons, given the proper conditioning and technology, could guide a missile.
Could guide a missile?
An actual missile.
Okay.
Yeah. So Skinner began using his conditioning methods to train pigeons to peck at certain images, battleships, military bases, etc. And after this training, Skinner placed the birds in a specially designed nose cone, like think blinders on a horse, designed for focus, and then he placed a screen in front of the pigeons over the nose cone with the projected image of the missile's flight path.
That screen time must have been nuts.
Nuts. So the idea was this. By pecking at the screen, specifically at the location they had been pre-trained by the conditioning, the pigeons could alter the flight path of a missile in midair, steering it toward the intended target and keeping actual humans out of harm's way on the U.S. side. In simulations, the pigeons did amazing, consistently hitting their desired targets.
Wow.
Yeah, this is murdering people.
Sure. Yeah.
Physicists endorsed the project. However, the military never really greenlit the pigeons to be used in actual combat because they were convinced that things could go awry. After all, we were leaving the launching and direction of missiles to pigeons. Funding for the project was pulled in October of 1944 with just under a year of warfare left. That's the end of story one. Project Pigeon. Bram, what do you think?
You know who would hate this idea? Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2.
Pigeon Lady would despise
hate
this idea.
I love you've told me, Dan, over the years about a lot of like stuff that's happened in wars and plans and bat bombs, etc.
The bat bomb, yeah.
Like the amount of time and money that we put into things and then go, no thanks anymore.
Pretty crazy.
Is crazy.
Hasn't changed, if you can believe it.
I can't believe it. This is a fascinating story. I can believe it based off of other stories that you've told me over the years, Dan. So I can buy this one. Justin, do you have any questions for Dan about this one or thoughts even?
Brad, I'm thinking that even though the pigeons is what stands out to me, like I do think that I've heard in the past about them having like guided a missile. In my head, I remember it as them being like attached to a missile, which is not what this is.
That is different.
He's talking bat bomb now.
Yeah, that is different. That is different. All right, interesting. Jordan, thoughts or questions before we move on to the story two?
I mean, I'll say I had the same exact thought about the bird lady from the pigeon lady from Home Alone.
She's always top of mind.
Yeah.
She's always top of mind for me. So
all ABC always be remembering the bird lady.
100%.
Oh, of course. 100%, yes.
Yep.
How could anybody forget?
That's right.
I mean, it's a concerning. I feel like I remember hearing about pigeons in the war as well, but I'm in the same boat where I don't know about the rest of it.
All right, we ready for story number two?
I'm ready.
All right, the next story is called The Churchill Crocodile, and it starts
Sorry, say it again?
The Churchill Crocodile.
All right.
Here we go. Brian, I need not remind you, but I will anyway, about D-Day, which I'm sure you know very well.
Yes.
June 6, 1944. This is still to this day the largest amphibious military attack in the history of the world.
There were frogs?
Nope, there was land and sea. It is the turning point of the war. The Allies take back France, Dwight Eisenhower with the Americans, the British, the French, all together, crossing the Channel, storming the beaches at Normandy. A very big deal. Planning the D-Day maneuver also included quite a bit of innovation, including many factions of the Allied powers leaning on scientists to invent or put into development experimental weaponry. Let me introduce you to Hobart's Funnies.
Please.
Major General Percy Hobart of the UK Army was tasked with creating experimental weaponry. They called them the Hobart's Funnies. They began as unusually modified tanks operated by a single division, the 79th Armored Division of the British Army. Special engineers with the required training were the only ones that could operate these modified tanks. Tanks were a huge reason for the success of D-Day, as well as other Commonwealth beach landings. They're considered the forebearers of the modern combat engineering
steering vehicle. Some of Hobart's famous creations included an amphibious swimming tank with propellers, the Sherman crab that could safely detonate hidden landmines, and the Churchill crocodile.
Ooh.
Winston Churchill loved Hobart's funnies so much and ordered several into commission by Hobart, including one he wanted to be called the Churchill crocodile. What is the Churchill crocodile, you ask?
Hey, what is the Churchill crocodile?
I'm so glad you asked. It's a flame-throwing tank.
Oh, boy.
Hobart's division manufactured a kit consisting of a 6.5-ton trailer that carried 400 gallons of fuel. The kit would be raised and sat on top of an operable tank, attaching it to create the Churchill crocodile, allowing the tank operator to control the steering, the guns equipped to the tank, as well as a flamethrower with a range of over 120 yards and enough flamethrower fuel for 81-second bursts. Hobart produced 800 Churchill crocodile kits. 250 were held in reserve to fight the Pacific, which never happened. But many of the remaining 550 did see actual battle in Europe. The Churchill crocodile.
Yeah. I find that to be a fascinating story of something that is not funny nor a crocodile. So,
That's right.
Very misleading story.
Can you imagine if he trained actual crocodiles?
I mean, we did the pigeon thing. Why not?
I know.
Why not?
But you don't know if that's true.
Justin, thoughts or questions about this one?
In this situation, where were they used in war?
They were used on the beaches of France.
Were there any in this amphibian mission? Were there any frogs?
That's a great question. I have no information on the frogs. Cannot confirm or deny frogs.
You can see how it would be misleading when you say the amphibian. Jordan?
Yes.
Thoughts or questions?
Well, I do know that Churchill. I knew about the flamethrowers.
Okay, you knew about them.
Well, flamethrowers existed in World War I.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, well, hopefully I'm not confusing those two then.
No, but it's not a crazy leap to go, I love flamethrower, I love tank, bam, crocodile.
I went down a war rabbit hole.
Yeah.
In a weird, that sounds weird.
Well,
we've all been there.
History side of things.
Yeah.
It was intriguing.
Sure.
We went to a concentration camp earlier this year, and I ended up down a wide rabbit hole.
All right, we ready for story 3?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Story number 3, Einstein's Project Chaos. Einstein's Project Chaos. Here we go. One of the secret weapons of the Allied powers during World War II was Albert Einstein. He was a German-born physicist that grew up in the German Empire and lived there through World War I, but he became a U.S. citizen in 1940, and along with being famous for his theory of relativity, he also helped strategize on some of the biggest U.S. military projects of the century, including the atomic bomb. After the creation of the atomic bomb and its use in Japan, World War II was coming to a close, but the looming threat of the Soviet Union remained. This kicked off an era of uncertainty. Now that the world knew the U.S. had atomic weapons at their disposal, they were all scrambling for their own and threatening mass destruction. This leads to a time of nuclear proliferation where every nation is building up their armaments and their ammunition and their military at a crazy fast rate. Everyone was looking for the next new thing. Strategic questions for the U.S. government included the best plan of atomic attack, should the Axis powers try again, or should the Soviet-U.S. relations fall apart? Let me introduce you to Project Belleville Chaos, named after Belleville, Illinois, a city where they secretly planned much of Einstein's ideas from 1944 to 1953. This was an undercover U.S. project in the vein of the Manhattan Project. It was declassified in the Pentagon Papers in 1971. Basically, the Allied powers had success cracking Germany's code Enigma, thanks to British Alan Turing and his computing machine that helped run as many mathematical combinations as possible for breaking codes. So, Einstein's plan was pretty simple. In the age of nuclear proliferation, if we select 200 possible cities across Japan, Germany, and Soviet territories around the world, the U.S. would use a smaller version of the Turing machine to randomly select the sites to attack, as well as the order in which they would be attacked. Why would you do this? Because there would be no code to break. Even if, in the era of spies, the Belleville project was infiltrated, no one would know the plans because the plans would be left up to chance in a Turing machine. The theory was that the lack of strategic plan and attack was the ultimate strategy. There would be no discernible way for the Axis powers or the Soviets to figure out where to send their resources. This plan was funded by the U.S. government for almost a decade, and thankfully it was never used, and Project Belleville Chaos was eventually scrapped under the Eisenhower administration after the death of Stalin. That's Project Belleville Chaos, and that's story number 3.
This is the same offense Coach Bud ran on the Bucks the year that they won the championship.
Oh, Belleville Chaos.
The Chaos offense.
The Chaos
Never know what they
offense.
throw. It doesn't matter. Sure. Justin, thoughts, questions about this one?
I don't have many questions as much as I have confusion around how this went down at the same time as Oppenheimer. So I kind of feel like the crossover makes this one a little suspicious.
It's to be fair, it's after the Manhattan Project. So this is so the idea of this is very much put into place after the bomb is dropped.
Okay. That's a good question. Good thought. Jordan, really quick, thoughts or questions before we have to make our decision?
I think I like Justin's question. And I feel like that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. This is a tough one, Dan. I'll be honest with you. I think all three of these, it kind of starts from craziest to me and kind of works its way down.
Normal, yeah.
But yeah, the first story, the pigeons, using the pigeons to kind of
guide a missile.
Yeah. We've got the story,
crocodile.
the crocodile, not a crocodile, flame-throwing tank.
That's right.
You know it, you love it.
And
then Einstein Chaos, working with the codes to get to outcode the codes. You know what I'm saying.
Outcode the codes with random. Yes.
This is tough. We're going to start with Justin. Justin, which story do you think is Dan's story, Dan's lie?
So I think that it's actually number 3, because I think the first 2 are crazy enough that it's true.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been down this road before with Dan too.
Sometimes I go crazier, and sometimes I go saner.
Sometimes I pick the most boring or least exciting of the stories.
How dare you?
Well, I'm saying what I'm saying. So I understand how you got there. Jordan,
is Jordan back?
Is Jordan back?
Yes.
Okay,
All right, Jordan,
what are your thoughts? Which one do you think is Dan's lie?
I was going back and forth between the first and the third one because I remember enough about there being flamethrowers that one, I'm pretty positive that one's real.
Okay.
I think Justin had a great question about with Oppenheimer happening at the same time. I know you said it was after, but my gut's saying that that's incorrect. So I think 3 is false as well.
Story number 3. They have both selected story number 3.
And for the record, Dan, I also would have gone 3 is your story.
All right. It seems like we have a consensus.
We sure do.
Project Pigeon, real thing. Try to get those pigeons to peck at that screen. Guide a missile. Pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it.
Churchill's crocodile. Also a real thing, which means Justin's right.
Double fanny!
Jordan's right. Brandon's right. You get a fanny pack. You get a fanny pack.
That's huge.
2 champions, 2 fanny packs.
That's
Justin
huge.
from Brooklyn, Jordan from Chicago. Thanks for playing. Congrats on being this week's co-champion and proud owner of a Who What Win fanny pack.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great day.
What a day. What a day.
Now that's an exciting way to wrap up this episode all about the 1940s. Thanks again to Justin and Jordan, and congratulations to both on their shared title of Champions of the Week.
Sidney Wilcox is our production assistant. Our producer is A.T. Shire, and our executive producer is Sean Birch, who says that every time an episode of Who What When airs, an angel gets his wings. This show is a production of South Carolina Public Radio, made possible in part by listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina.
Join us for a future episode of Who What When. Just call or text us at 803-470-6347 or send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
You can find out more about our show at our website, whowhatwinshow.org.
And you can listen to an extended version of the show on your favorite podcast app or through your smart speaker.
I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray. Join us again next week for more history, games, and trivia right here on Who What When.